Good morning. In this week's Torah portion, we have the commandment of Bayom Hashmini Yimol B'Sar Lasod, that when a baby boy is born, on the 8th day, you shall circumcise the flesh, the foreskin of the baby. And the question is, why does the Torah say that you should do it on the 8th day? What is significant about the day number 8? In addition, we know that from all the Jewish holidays, there is one holiday called Shmini Atzeres, the 8th day holiday, which is the 8th day after the 7 days of Sukkot. And once again, we find a holiday named after the number 8. So the number 8 must have great significance. So what happened on day number 8? God created the world in 6 days and rested on Shabbat. Shabbat is the perfection of the world. But Adam and Eve ate from the tree of knowledge. They sinned and they were banished from paradise, from Gan Eden, on Saturday night after Shabbat concluded. And 8th day was the first day that Adam and Eve found themselves in exile. Their paradise was lost. Their idyllic state of existence crumbled. They could have done one of two things. They could have given up on life and despaired and become despondent, or they could start all over again. And because Adam and Eve chose to start all over again and form life outside of paradise and have children, that's why we are here as a human race. And so the number 8 in Judaism represents the idea of new beginnings. And that's why, what do we do on the 8th day holiday of Shmini Atzeret? We conclude the Torah and we start the Torah all over again, saying we always have to renew ourselves, refresh ourselves, and have the ability to start all over again. And that's why last week's Torah portion was called Shmini, the 8th day, because Aaron began his service in the tabernacle. After the Jewish people sinned with the golden calf, and Aaron participated, they were given a second chance by building a tabernacle. And so once again, the number 8 represents a new beginning. And that's why a mourner, after 7 days of mourner, on the 8th day, resumes their normal life, goes back to starting all over. Even though they have life without their loved one at their side, God forbid, the loss of a spouse or a parent or a child, they have to start all over again. And so the secret of the number 8 is new beginnings. That no matter, we all know how to celebrate beginnings, but how do you start again after you've experienced failure or loss or setbacks? And that's the secret of the Jewish people, an eternal nation. Other nations had their time, their period, but then it expired and they didn't know the secret of the number 8, how to start again. But to be a Jew means you're always able to start again. And no greater example than our generation, where after the greatest tragedy of the Holocaust, 6 million of our brothers and sisters, 1.5 million children were murdered. The Jewish people said, this will not be the final chapter of Jewish history. We will go to the land of Israel and we will start all over again. That's the miracle of Jewish continuity, of Jewish survival, the secret of the number 8. And so circumcision is on the day 8. God made a perfect child, but life will not always be perfect. There will be ups and downs, and you always have to know how to start all over again. When we look at the people in Ukraine, millions of refugees, having to start their lives all over again, and people in Ukraine not knowing what their lives will be like, will have to live a new existence. That is the power of 8, the man's resilience and ability to say, yes, I have a new set of circumstances, but I could start all over again. I want to share with you 2 very powerful examples. Last week there was a woman by the name of Jenna Bernstein, 97 years old woman. She's turning 98 in June. She was born in Kiev. Her father died when she was 17. Her mother was killed by the Nazis. She fought the Nazis in the Red Army. And then she went on to have a family, children and grandchildren. When the war broke out, her son said, come with me, I'm going to go to Israel. She said, I'm 97, I can't go, I'm too old, I'm a Holocaust survivor. He left and then pleaded with his mother to join him in Israel as the war raged on. A mission was organized where a number of organizations band together, went into Ukraine, into Kiev, went to her apartment, rescued her and brought her to Israel. Now she is in the land of Israel, starting her life all over again at the age of 97. And a second example, this past Friday was the Jerusalem Marathon. It was a men's race and a women's race. The winner of the women's race is a woman by the name of Valencia Valveretsky. And she is an Ukrainian athlete, Jewish woman, who escaped Ukraine just a week ago with her daughter. Her husband had to stay back to fight the Russians. And she ran in the Jerusalem race and came in first place in a 26.2-mile marathon. And she held up an Israeli flag and a Ukrainian flag. And she was asked, how could you have come to Jerusalem, come from Ukraine, leaving behind the war and your husband as a new immigrant, and run the marathon and win and come in first place? How did you have the strength, the mental and emotional mindset to do that? And here's what she said. She said, that's precisely why I won the race. Because I knew I wasn't just running for myself. I was running for my husband, for my country, to bring light to the plight of the Ukrainian people. That's the power of the number 8. The power to start all over under all circumstances. Even when life gives us blessings, we always have to be able to renew those blessings, to refresh them, never to take them for granted. And that is why the number 8 in Judaism symbolizes the power of renewal, the secret to Jewish survival, continuity, and the eternality of the Jewish nation. Have a wonderful day.